Welcome back, True to Horse Horsemanship. What is this? This is going to be pointing some things out and probably a venting session, all one thing. This is a little 4-year-old grade horse that came in. The story on this horse is the owner called me, asked me if a rescue would take it, and she called me from the hospital. And what happened was the trainer had this horse. She had the woman riding this horse in a halter, rope halter, and the horse only had around 30 days on it. And something spooked the horse, and the woman, well, I'm hearing two different stories. Even from the trainer. First, when I talked to the trainer on the phone, first she said the woman just fell off. And then as we're talking, number one, I dig a little farther and listen. I don't just hear, I listen. She said now the woman taught the horse how to buck. So to my little feeble mind, I thought, okay, which is it? The woman fought off, or she taught the horse to buck? Because evidently the horse bucked her off, because if she didn't, the trainer wouldn't say she taught the horse how to buck. I didn't buy into it. So anyway, I told her on the phone before I saw this horse that we would take it. The next thing you know, my phone rings and everybody's calling and saying I might want to look at this horse before I took it. They say he was weak in the hind end and his attitude was this or that. So I was working a horse at the time, so I told him as soon as I got done working the horse, I would shoot over there. It was about 40 miles from here, up north. And I saw this horse, and the trainer was there, and me being me, there's a couple of things that I wanted to check right off the bat, and I didn't even have to reach in there. First thing I felt his teeth. His teeth are so damn sharp, I could feel them from the outside. And also, I noticed on his hips, there's a couple scars there. That is not rain rot, people, that's scars. And there's one on this side of his leg. And he was really sore through his hips, so that told me his hips were bothering, because they talk about him being a little weak on his hind end. Well, yeah, he was sore in his damn hips. He's somewhere down the road, he's got an accident, and evidently for him to have a couple scars on his hips, it was a bad one. In other words, and the trainer's going about how bad this horse is, and as you can see standing here, he's not that bad of a horse. Basically, and I told her, I said, you know, this horse is in pain. It didn't have no business working this horse. Horse should have never been started saddle until his issues were addressed. His sore hips and his teeth floated. And the woman excused, well, I was riding a rope halter. But I don't give a damn. That rope halter, even when you pull on their face, it's going to put pressure on that side of the mouth, and the teeth are sharp, it's still going to put them in pain. So basically this horse was in pain. And also she's a big follower of a certain Australian guy, and she said, well, there's nothing wrong with riding a green horse and rope halter if you do the prep work. Well, ride a damn rope halter. I don't give a damn how much prep work you do, because at the end of the day, if something spooks that horse, you don't have no control in that rope halter. And these guys, you know, they play on y'all feel good, do good ladies, and that's who it is. 90% of them, ladies, they play on that. You know, like this horse, I played with it a little bit this morning, and I noticed just leading him, he didn't respect this halter. He didn't have a clue. He was trying to walk over me. And it ain't the horse, on this horse, is not his fault. Nobody taught him. You know, and Chris is another fine example of the same scenario. And we talked about her missing her teeth. You trainers out there, be real to yourself. I can't help it. Let's get back to true horsemanship. Let's throw this BS that these guys are trying to market and sell for the good, you know, poor little horsey. We don't want to put a bit in his mouth because that horse is going to hurt his mouth and yada, yada, yada. Well, I don't care about that because this poor woman, right now, her back's messed up. She's got bruised ribs. She had punctured lungs because of that kind of thinking. You know, we all don't, none of us out here that loves horses don't want to be inhumane to the horses. But you got to put the human equation in there. And damn it, I get too many emails of people getting hurt. In Chris's case, that was too big of a bit for that horse at that time. That went from one extreme to the other. Somebody's not using enough bit in the horse's mouth, and in Chris's sake, somebody was using too much bit and didn't teach that horse how to truly give to a bit. So, you know, a lot of the old ways, people, the reason it's been around for hundreds of years is because it works. It's not cruel, it works. You can't, good horsemanship's good horsemanship. And everything that you see on television now that these guys preach, at the end of the day, it's been around forever. I read a book one time. It was published in 1898. Problem horse. You threw in the corn crib and ran around until it was so tired it couldn't hardly run no more. Well, corn crib. Y'all in the Midwest, you know what a corn crib is. It's round. And back then, it was all open. It was made out of heavy wire. The horses could see outside. So, you know, there you go. And back before we start calling these round pins, way back when we called them bull pins. You know, all this stuff's been around for generations and generations. But we got to get to common sense training these horses. It's this, I mean, common sense tells me you put a semi-green rider on a green horse that doesn't even have 30 days of riding on him in a damn rope halter. Something spooks that horse, somebody's going to get hurt, or the horse is going to get hurt. And like I said, here he's got labeled as a mean horse from the damn trainer, when he's not. He's in pain. It's that, at the end of the day, that's all it is, in pain. So Friday he's going to get his teeth worked on. And I worked on his hips a little bit already, but we'll have a chiropractor get on him. And then I'll get him on a saddle and I'll find him a home. And I've got a lot of trainers watch these YouTubes. People, let's get back, like I said earlier, back to real horsemanship. Use common sense. Don't fall into this marketing crap that everybody's fell into. You know, I love not get another email or hear another example of somebody getting hurt, of a trainer out there and don't know what they're really doing and blaming the horse. I mean, we all make mistakes and we all have our bad days, and we do have horses got minds, and some of them's harder than the other, and some breeds are a little rougher. Get this horse, we'll get his physical needs first, and then you'll see him later as I go through and bit him up and start riding them and take them through everything and rehab them. But we got to be able to look at our shortcomings. I mean, hell, I have to do that all the time. If I'm having trouble with a horse, I will stop and look and figure out what the hell I'm doing wrong. And then I'll go to the horse. The horse is last I blame. I blame myself first. Hey, so that's pretty much it about this horse. I haven't shot anything or added. I'm adding both videos together because we've had his teeth worked on. I've worked on his back, his hips. So, and like I said in the first video, the woman who owned this horse called me from the hospital because the trainer had her riding in a bridle, a halter, and now I did saddle him the other day, and I'm hoping, I didn't work with him because I want to show you, everybody sees something, and I'm hoping that trainer sees this, because I want to cheer her out again for having that lady riding this horse on the halter. And I'm going to preach it again. This horse only had 30 days, and I don't care how calm the horse is, crap happens. So to me, it's irresponsible to be riding this horse in the halter. Should know how to give to the bit. This isn't not going to be so much how-to video this time. It's going to be more of what not to. And yes, if you notice in the video, you're going to see plastic bags all over the place. So you ladies out there say, oh my God, why don't we get them up? Well, the horse got to get used to them plastic bags. I came up with a name for him finally. I kept thinking of names, and everybody out there knows I follow Native American weight and everything. And I ended up naming him Washtay, is Lakota for good. I was going to name him Washtay Suka Wakan, but shoot, I just shortened it down to Washtay, so there's no use of adding all the other to it. So all I'm going to do right now is just ask him to move forward. Now you see this horse has got a little bit of buck in him. The other day he bucked real hard. And even with, you can see that back coming up, it's there. So why would you ride a horse that doesn't, he's got that potential, ride him in the halter when you don't have control of him. And I don't care how much prep work you do and how quiet the horse is, eventually, if something spooks that horse come unglued, and there's no way you're going to have control of a horse in a rope halter. And the shame of it, this horse got labeled as a bad horse, and it's not the horse's fault. Like I said, this poor horse was sore. So what I'll be doing a process, since nobody worked them in bit, get them used to the bit. Now what I'm fixing to do here, I want to show how bracy this horse really is. So if you see how bracy this horse is in the bit, there's no way this horse was light in the halter, because he's really bracing hard against the bit too. Like I said, it's only, the lady never did put a bit in his mouth. They always use that halter. I like to be as humane to these horses as we possibly can, but you got to take common sense in there. And you know, some people, they got a mindset, poor horsey, you don't want to put a bit in his mouth. Well, what about that poor lady who's sitting in the hospital? You know, this horse was taught really true how to give and had a bit in her mouth. She might have been able to control the situation better instead of her laying up all busted up. So this, most of y'all know I normally don't do this, but what I'm going to do is tie my rein in there, my back girth. Got him on a little bend. And if a true horse was given, he'd lower his head and come to the rein. But you're going to see him push up on it. See how the head's going up in the air. If he was really taught how to give, he'd come down to it, not up. I did work just a little bit with him the other day, so he's not near as bad as he was. But he still wants to put that head up in the air. When I reverse sides, like right there, he's not going with the flow of that feel of that rein. He's trying to fight it and get away from it. I mean, I'll be quite honest right now, I could ride this horse, but I wouldn't ride him. Like right there, I'm pulling on this rein, he's putting that nose weight to the outside. I mean, I've preached this in my other videos, and you've seen it by now, you've seen me working up horses, how it works. I get him give to the bit, then like right there, see, he's fighting it. Like I said, I normally don't do this, but I want to show you people out there. Go back to my other videos and the way I do things and look at my horses the first rides and down the road. Look at this horse who supposedly had 30 rides on him, and I want you to read this horse's body language. I mean, like I said, I don't usually do what I'm doing right now, but I'm trying to prove a point that, number one, this horse, even in a halter, wasn't really taught to give, because if it was, it would automatically come back to this. What you people out there don't understand, you got these guys on television all riding these horses and halters and this and that, but they're not even saying how much their croonies is working these horses and how long it took there. All they want to do, they're out to sell you videos and buy their books, so they're not going to tell you how much time they spent to get that horse really given to that halter and all that what that horse has been for before they rode it. And you know me out here, I show y'all real time. Like right there, he's trying to get away from that bit, because he's doing what a horse naturally does, try to push into the pressure, not give to it. So that throws out the window about natural horsemanship, because you know, everything we teach them, 90% of it's not natural. So my main point on showing this horse right now is stop and think, people. And don't fall in for the BS. Do things common sense and with some logic to it. Don't just say, well, you know, we're going to ride this horse in a halter and he's real quiet. Even this horse was real quiet. Like I said, I don't preach riding horses in halters, because crap can happen. And I'm sorry, I don't like side pulls, because at the end of the day, if something really bad happens, you're not going to have true control of that horse. I don't care what arguments you throw at me, and I'm sure I'm going to get comments, well, I ride in one. If something super bad happens, you're not going to have control of that horse. So I don't, you know, you can just keep your comments to yourself. You know, we need to get back to real horsemanship. That's bottom line. And like I call it, true to horse horsemanship. I'm going to get true to this horse, teach him how to give to the bit before I get on him, and know what that bit is. And that way there's no things. And if something does happen, you got some kind of tools there to control him, and somebody don't end in the hospital. It's that simple. Like right now, he's fighting that bit again. So we'll go through this. I'll go back, do it my way here. But right now, like I said, I'm trying to prove a point. So this horse, basically what I'm seeing, should never even been ridden. Not even bit or halter. The horse don't know what a bit is, and he would have probably, if you put a lot of pressure on a halter, he'd do the same thing. He's going to get that nose up in the air. So, you know, don't buy into stuff. That's the best thing I can do. If it doesn't sound right, and it sounds too good to be true, chances are it is. So as I always say, be true to the horse, they'll be true to you. First and foremost, people, be true to yourself. It will help you from getting hurt. I had somebody here that came, she started talking about how much she rode in her whole life, and she asked the horse to trot, the horse cantered, and me being me, I sit there and just my arms crossed and let the horse run around the round pen a few times, because the horse just went to a canter like it was told to. And finally the woman, as she's holding on the saddle horn, she said, "Sir, I need help." And I just looked at her and said, "Well, yeah, you do. Let go of that damn horn and grab hold of them reins," and that horse stopped. And she did, and the horse stopped. So, you know, it's her not being true to herself. And she was more embarrassed than anything, because she already talked a good game before she got on this horse, and it fell apart. So, and me, you talk a good game around me, you better be able to back it up, because I'm going to prove, I'm going to give you a reality check. So, it all goes along with being true to yourself. And to my kids, my grandkids, and a special person out there, Washita Lake, God bless and take care.